While some may believe that the arrest of Ovidio Guzman Lopez was just a random act of law enforcement, the reality is far from it. January 6th, 6:20 a.m. Central Standard Time marks the beginning of the end for the notorious drug kingpin. But what led to his capture? What were the events of his final 24 hours of freedom? And what was the aftermath of his arrest in the city of Culiacán, the transcontinental drug war, and the Sinaloa cartel as a whole? Join us as we delve into the complex and dangerous world of the drug cartels and examine the key events leading up to the arrest of Ovidio Guzman Lopez. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and get ready to be transported into the final 24 hours of Ovidio Guzman's freedom. The final hours of Ovidio Guzman's freedom cannot be understood without understanding the events leading up to it. In 2019, he was arrested by the Mexican National Guard in an operation called El Culiacanazo. However, the government later released him due to the potential harm to civilians and the cost to their lives. 3 years later, the US and Mexican governments reignited their pursuit of Guzman Lopez. After 6 months of reconnaissance and surveillance work in the Los Menores criminal group's area of influence, Guzman was captured, according to the Secretary of National Defense. During a joint press conference with the head of the Secretary of Security and Citizen Protection, Rosa Iquela Rodriguez, it was revealed that 6 months of surveillance and reconnaissance had been carried out in the same area to track illicit activities by the criminal group. The Mexican military, through coordinated efforts with various institutions to detect criminal organizations in the country, arrested Ovidio Guzman Lopez in the early hours of 6:20 a.m. in the community of Jesus Maria, a densely populated settlement on the northern edge of Culiacán. The successful operation involved the use of a helicopter gunship from the National Defense Secretariat that flew over the mountainous region of the state capital and opened fire on the group of houses where Ovidio was believed to be residing. Despite the exchange of gunfire and burning of vehicles in the area, Ovidio was not there at the time. With the available intelligence, a timeline of his final 24 hours can be established, but his exact whereabouts during the operation remain unknown. Approximately 60 minutes after the initial operation, the Mexican National Guard's ground surveillance detected a group of armed individuals in pickup trucks with makeshift armor. The authorities quickly initiated another operation as Ovidio Guzman Lopez was suspected to be in one of the trucks. A perimeter was established around the vehicles, and National Guardsmen, supported by the 9th Military Zone and other state authorities, surrounded the trucks, engaged with the suspects, and requested them to step out for a search. Meanwhile, Air Force aircraft monitored the situation from above. The troops encountered armed resistance while searching the vehicles and were attacked. The officers defended themselves and tried to control the aggression. During the firefight, Ovidio Guzman Lopez was identified and captured. After 4 years of being under indictment, 3 years of being sought, 2 years with a bounty on his head, and 6 months of surveillance, he was finally taken into custody. At 6:20 a.m. Central Standard Time, he was found in possession of weapons that are exclusive to the Mexican Armed Forces. In response to the arrest of Ovidio Guzman, the Sinaloa cartel launched 20 drug blockades, leading to armed attacks and fires in cities such as Culiacán, Guasave, and Los Mochis. The hashtag Ovidio Guzman trended on social media as the city woke up to the chaos. President López Obrador acknowledged the federal operation in his morning briefing and promised to provide more information later in the day. The Secretary of Public Security was to inform the public with precise details. The governor of Sinaloa, Ruben Roja Moya, took to the social media platform Twitter at 8 a.m. to inform citizens to stay calm and remain in their homes as the authorities are handling the situation. Following this, 2 military planes were sent from the Santa Lucia base to support the federal operation in Sinaloa. The city authorities then announced the suspension of work activities and advised the public to not leave their homes. The mayor of Culiacán, Juan de Dios Gamez, also used Twitter to inform the citizens of Culiacán about the blockades in different parts of the city and to stay inside. There were rumors of gunfire and violence at the Culiacán prison, but the State Public Security Secretariat denied it, stating that there have been no escapes or overreactions in the prison, just garbage being burned. However, The Army and National Guard were concerned about the possibility of violence, which led to the creation of a security cordon around the prison. On October 17, 2019, a leak was recorded during El Culiacanazo, leading to suspicions. At 10 a.m., an attack was reported on the Culiacán International Airport and a military airbase. An Aeromexico plane was caught in the crossfire, and the passengers were forced to seek cover. All flights and land transport were canceled, and access to Culiacán was blocked. Ovidio Guzman, son of notorious drug lord El Chapo, was transferred to Mexico City on a military plane for security reasons. 2 military planes were reported to have left Santa Lucia Air Base for Sinaloa. Ovidio was not taken out of the city by road or local airport, but by the Mexican Air Force. He was transferred from his point of arrest to Mexico City and later sent to a specialized prosecutor for organized crime. This special treatment was due to his father's reputation as one of the most ruthless narcos in history. Culiacán was in a state of chaos during the day, with blockades and roadblocks all over the place. The streets were littered with smashed and burning cars as cartel members caused trouble and looted stores. 6 people were arrested during these looting incidents. When the Secretary of Public Security arrived to reinforce security, he ran into a convoy of armed civilians, which led to a confrontation. Ovidio, the organized crime kingpin, was transferred to prison around 5 p.m. The operation involved various government agencies, including the Ministry of National Defense and the National Intelligence Center. 10 soldiers and 19 criminal suspects were killed in the operation, but the number of casualties could be higher, as many people were hospitalized and wounded during the confrontations. The identities of the deceased have not been disclosed yet. Mexico's border states, including Sonora to the north, Chihuahua and Durango to the east, Nayarit to the south, and Baja California to the west, are on the high alert due to the cockroach effect. This occurs when federal troops are deployed to drug trafficking hotspots, leading to an increase in organized crime and violence in other areas of the country. Despite lifting roadblocks, violence is expected to continue, as it typically rises following the death or arrest of a drug lord, leading to turf wars and power vacuums. Analysts have differing opinions on the impact of Ovidio Guzman Lopez's arrest on the Sinaloa cartel, with some claiming it's a powerful blow and others saying that Ovidio is not a major leader and won't cause an immediate weakening of the cartel. In fact, looking at the overall effect of an act like the arrest of Ovidio Guzman, we expect it to have a net negative impact on public security and safety in Mexico, with no substantial effect on the flow of illicit drugs to the United States. The director of the Americas program at the Center for International Policy in Mexico City, Laura Carlson, has criticized the war on drugs model of taking out the drug lords while leaving the structures, including the huge demand in the United States, in place. She says it doesn't work and never has, including in Mexico since it was launched at the end of 2006. While the situation surrounding the capture and possible extradition of Ovidio Guzman is still unfolding, we can only wonder what plans the Mexican government and the United States have in store for the war on drugs. Will the impending violence cause them to abandon this outdated model of capturing drug lords? Or will they seek out innovative strategies to curb drug trafficking across North America as a whole? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video on the final 24 hours leading up to the capture of Ovidio Guzman Lopez. We hope this video gave you a comprehensive understanding of the events and the impact they had on the city of Culiacán, the transcontinental drug war, and the Sinaloa cartel as a whole. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more informative videos here at Criminal Records, and we'll see you in the next video.